Well, it's been a battle, Reese. You know, we have a couple of guys still remaining here today, but we got a big one this morning in Gus Edwards, a running back out of Staten Island that we needed to fill that need, and clearly Quan Muhammad, a defensive end, Kevin Olson, a quarterback, and locally Artie Burns and Jamal Carter, two great secondary players. So, but we're going to keep battling the rest of the day here.
Now, Al, how would you describe, and we've talked about this at times in the past, but how would you describe the impact of the lingering investigation by the NCAA and the impact that it's had on you guys in terms of recruiting?
Well, I think it's incalculable, Reese. I mean, we're not just fighting the opposition, we're fighting the term sanctions all the time. So it's sanctions and the opposition versus us. So it's been basically a 2.5-year probation. I'm proud of our staff for continuing to battle and fight through it. And we're proud of the recruits that believe in what we're doing and want to move forward and really want to be Miami Hurricanes in the end.
What is it that you tell recruits when they ask you those types of questions, Al?
Well, I think, Reese, we just be honest with them, that we think the worst is behind us. We served 2 bowl games, Reese, and an ACC championship game. This has been very difficult. And especially this year because I'm dealing with a hard number. Most years when you recruit, you have flexibility. So if you're -1 or +2, you could still work it into the class. But this year I'm set at a finite number. I have no room to work with. And hopefully we'll finish strong here today and then we'll start again tomorrow on the 2014 group.
Well, you mentioned some of the kids you're excited about that have committed to play for Miami. Tell me a little bit about your expectations for the quarterback, Kevin Olson.
We're excited about Kevin. Obviously, comes from a great football family, and Coach Olson, one of the greatest coaches in New Jersey. But Kevin comes to us with a big league arm. He's smart. Obviously, one of the highest-rated quarterbacks in the country, and we're proud to get him. We're excited about him, and clearly that was a great acquisition for us.
Al, congratulations on the way things have gone on signing day up to this point. Wish you the best of luck the rest of the day.
Thank you, Reese.
All right, Al Golden, the head coach of the Hurricanes. And by the way, we have to point out with Miami, the number one thing that Golden has been consistent on when you ask him about the NCAA investigation, because it occurred before his tenure there, he's been kept out of the loop about a lot of this. And the latest news coming from CBSSports.com, the NCAA enforcement director approved that disbursement of at least $20,000 in 2011 to an attorney who procured some information during an unrelated bankruptcy hearing to all of the stuff surrounding Nevin Shapiro that has really put the NCAA in many minds in some peril in terms of the legitimacy of their investigation and how they can handle that going forward. What impact it might come on Miami.
Where's Dooley when you need him? We need an attorney around here.
Here's an attorney right here.
They ought to be done with sanctions on Miami. Everything is poison now that comes out of that. They ought to be done with it and let Miami walk now.
Okay, what if that particular bit of information didn't come from those types of interviews? Does it not matter then at that point?
Well, no, it doesn't matter because you can't trust any part of the process now because of their unethical action throughout any part of it. You can't go back and look at every single thing that they did. This is one thing that we know of that came out, but you can't assume that every other part of it was done correctly and fairly. So I think at this point, you say to the Miami sanctions, they've had what they've had. They've been out of the postseason for 2 seasons. Enough is enough. Move on.
I think the irony in this is if a school used this type of defense, the NCAA, well, this part didn't know about that, you'd be talking lack of institutional control.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the great issue that the NCAA now faces with Miami, and how it impacts the Hurricanes and their football future remains to be seen, as Al Golden is hoping, because he certainly paid the price up to this point in terms of recruiting.